actually got discovered sneaking backstage at a Boyz II Men.
Back in the late 90s, 98 Degrees had the kind of harmonies that made you want to throw on your best sweater and serenade your crush.
For the rest of my life, you don't have to think twice.
They were the R&B boy band with heart and a lot of heartache behind the scenes. Between a bitter $25 million lawsuit, personal missteps, and the constant battle with the boy band label, their story was as much about survival as it was about love songs. So what really happened to the group that made us believe in forever? It all started with Jeff Timmons.
But I started the group with some other guys in Ohio, came out to LA, there was no social media, so you literally had to go for your dream. Yep, yeah.
This guy was at Kent State studying psychology and dreaming about playing football in the NFL. But one night, he sang at a college party, and the ladies were feeling it. The next day, Jeff dropped everything, said forget college, and hopped on a plane to Los Angeles to chase the music dream. Once Jeff hit LA, he met Nick Lachey, who was also from Ohio and had been studying sports medicine at Miami University. Nick was already into music too, so they clicked right away. Nick was like, let's form a boy band. And that's exactly what they did.
We sung our way backstage for our idols, Boyz II Men, got discovered, and got signed to Motown Records, so we were very fortunate.
That's incredible.
Nick brought in his boy, Justin Jeffrey, who had gone to the Cincinnati School for Creative and Performing Arts with him. They had worked together in different musical groups, even a barbershop quartet. At Kings Island Amusement Park and a cover band. So Justin was all in, but they needed one more person to round out the group. That's when Drew Lachey, Nick's younger brother, came in. Drew was working as an EMT in New York City, but when the band came calling, he left that job behind to join the squad. He replaced Jonathan Lipman, who dipped out early. Now they were ready to take over. But they had to figure out a name, and let me tell you, they went through a lot of options. They rejected names like Just Us and Next Issue, and it was getting real stressful. Then, their manager Paris Dijon threw out 98 Degrees, inspired by Body Temperature, and they were like, that's it. That's the vibe.
Our manager had a really hot girlfriend, and she was like, why not call yourselves 98 Degrees? And we were like, bingo.
And with that, 98 Degrees was born.
Credit for it again. He always does that. Tries to take credit for my hard work.
The group started out like so many do, grinding it out in the most random jobs, landscaping, working security, delivering food, and meanwhile, they were honing their skills, figuring out their sound. They were eyeing groups like Boyz II Men. Take Six and Jodeci for inspiration. They even made the rounds in LA, hitting up auditions, building those all-important industry contacts. And they didn't waste time either. They saw their chance when Boyz II Men was doing a concert. And hopped in to try and pass a demo tape. That's when they got discovered by music manager Paris Dijon, who was working with Montel Jordan at the time.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night.
He quickly arranged for 98 Degrees to open for Montel Jordan on his tour, which gave them exposure and credibility in the music industry. Through Dijon's connections, particularly with Motown executives, the group secured a deal with the iconic label. Yeah, the same Motown that's known for its powerhouse black artists, not exactly for white boy bands. You can bet they were surprised, but in the best way possible. They always wanted to sign with Motown because they love R&B, and honestly, their voices and music spoke louder than anything else. They made it clear that Motown didn't sign them because of their skin color. No, it was all about how they sang.
I feel like it's the music that kind of speaks for us being on Motown, and not necessarily skin color or any other factor, but
They had the voices and the music to back it up. And that's what caught Motown's attention, plain and simple. But before they could sign their deal, one of the original members, Jonathan Lippman, bounced because of his religious beliefs. He went on to form his own CCM group, True Vibe. Even from the get-go, the group was so clear that when it comes to their fan base, they aren't just the teen heartthrob types. Sure, the younger crowd loves them, but they've got fans across all age groups, 20s, 30s, even 40s. They weren't just aiming for one age range. They wanted to appeal to everyone who appreciated good music. And soon enough, Because of You hit number 1.
'Cause I'm losing my mind when you're not around.
3 in 1998. The Hardest Thing went to number.
To turn around and walk away, pretending I don't love.
5 in 99. Give Me Just One Night took number
Don't you try to hide your secrets.
2 that same year. And let's not forget I Do, which landed at number 13.
Your head versus mine.
They were all over the charts. But of course, all that success doesn't come without its fair share of drama. Their second record came with mad pressure. Signing to Motown was just step 1. Now they had to prove they weren't a one-hit wonder. The road was bumpy, but they pushed each other non-stop, keeping sharp and making sure no one slipped. When the media started comparing them to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, they had to choose, follow the trend or stay true to their own style.
This gift tonight.
And they stayed true.
Because I'm losing my mind when you're not around.
Look, when you're in a band with a bunch of young guys, you're bound to hit some bumps. 98 Degrees had that magic on stage and in the studio, but off stage,
Oh, you're the breath of life in me.
not always sunshine and rainbows. Jeff Timmons kept it real in an interview, saying that they drive each other crazy. The pressure of being in a band, especially without a pro team behind them, took a toll. There was a lot of stress and honestly, not much fun in the process. But hey, it's tough when you're in your 20s and trying to figure it all out, right? Fast forward to 2013 and 2016 when they decided to reunite for tours, and it was a whole different vibe. They'd learned how to deal with the little stuff.
98 Degrees reunited on stage. We have the full rundown of their big performance.
And it was a whole lot smoother. In December 1999, Top 40 Entertainment hit 98 Degrees with a breach of contract after they dumped the management company almost 2 years before their deal was up. Top 40 wasn't having it, calling the move selfish and greedy. They claimed they helped the guys go from nobodies to Motown stars. But 98 Degrees wasn't backing down. Their lawyer fired back, saying the management actually messed up, giving them a legit reason to bounce. As for what went down, we'll never know. These things usually end with a hush-hush settlement instead of a messy court showdown. In 2016, 98 Degrees made waves by canceling 2 shows in North Carolina to protest the state's HB2 law, aka the bathroom bill. The law targeted LGBTQ rights, forcing people to use restrooms based on their birth certificate gender. They weren't the only ones. Bruce Springsteen, Pearl Jam, Demi Lovato, and Nick Jonas also pulled their gigs to show support for the LGBTQ community. During a Never Have I Ever game, the 98 Degrees boys were feeling a little too honest. The question was, never have I ever kissed or hooked up with a fan. Let's just say most of them were not trying to hide anything. Jeff Timmons, Justin Jeffrey, and Nick Lachey all raised their signs to confess they had indeed crossed that line.
Oh boy. Ooh, I I have never, I have.
Guess it's not all about the music after all. 98 Degrees decided to take a break in 2002, but they called it an extended hiatus. They came back together a couple of times, first in 2004 to sing on Nick and Jessica's family Christmas TV special.
I like the way you work it. No diggity. Got to bag it up.
Then again in 2005 to back up Jeffrey in his mayoral bid for Cincinnati. After that, though, crickets. No one heard much from them for years. Then 2012 rolls around, and they announce they're back in the studio working on a new album.
I actually have a garment bag in my closet full of leather pants from 2000, 2001.
Yeah, we all thought their hiatus would be way shorter than that.
Telling me more than any words could say.
But according to Justin Jeffrey, it just took time. Everyone got caught up with life, marriages, kids, other projects. Coming back together was a big commitment, and they needed the right timing.
I mean, I started the group, but being a group of 4 guys and 3 other amazingly brilliant, talented individuals, I can't take credit for.
In April 2006, he got busted for DUI and driving without a valid license in Florida. He was speeding in his white Mercedes after a celebrity softball game, and the cops noticed he was sloshed. He claimed he'd only had 2 beers, but his license had been expired for over a year. To make it worse, his passengers were just as drunk, one of them being Mitch English from the Daily Buzz, who said Jeff was driving because he'd had too much to drink. He got arrested, but bailed out quickly on a $500 bond. Nick Lachey's love life has been a tabloid goldmine. After his highly publicized marriage to Jessica Simpson, which played out on Newlyweds, they split in 2005. But Nick didn't waste time. He moved on to Vanessa Manillo, who starred in his breakup ballad video, and by 2011, they were married with 3 kids. While his boy band days faded, Nick didn't disappear. He dropped his solo hit, What's Left of Me, in 2006. And though his pop career didn't fully take off, he kept busy with TV. From Dancing with the Stars to The Masked Singer, where he won as Piglet, Nick's face is everywhere. He's also hosted Love is Blind and The Sing-Off, and even tried his hand at acting. With all that success, Nick's sitting on a cool $25 million fortune. Drew Lachey traded boy band life for Broadway when 98 Degrees faded. In 2004, he made his debut on Rent as Mark Cohen, then scored another Broadway hit with Spamalot. But it wasn't just musicals. Drew also hit it big on Dancing with the Stars, winning the 2006 season with partner Cheryl Burke. He came back to reality TV in 2019 with American Ninja Warrior. On the family front, Drew got married to high school sweetheart Lee Delacave, had 2 kids, and ditched LA for Cincinnati. They even started a kids' performance camp, Lachey Arts. Drew might not be as loaded as Nick, but he's sitting on a solid $4 million. Not too shabby. Jeff Timmons has been busy with multiple marriages and kids. His first daughter, Alyssa, was born in 1999, and after his divorce, he got joint custody of her and their son. In 2010, he married Amanda, who brought 2 kids of her own, and they've since had kids together. They even met at a New Kids on the Block event, which sounds straight out of a fan fiction. After 98 Degrees fizzled, Jeff dropped a solo album in 2004, but kept his pop roots alive, backing up Jordan Knight and even writing for the Bernie the Dolphin soundtrack. He also tried acting in a zombie western and faith-based TV.
Let's go, ladies, move! Let's go!
But it was his Chippendales gig in 2011 that turned heads. He took that sexy vibe and started Men of the Strip, a show that broke Vegas box office records. Meanwhile, Justin Jeffrey switched gears and ran for mayor of Cincinnati in 2005 with a platform of arts and education reform. He didn't win, only got 2% of the vote, but stayed active in the community and even got arrested for trespassing during a protest.